Hello there. Welcome to the Boss Body Podcast. This is Sarah Haas. I am so glad you're here because today I'm going to be talking to you about why your smartwatch may be lying to you. Now, let me explain. As you know, there is a huge trend these days to wear smartwatches and fitness trackers so that you can calculate your steps, you can calculate how many calories burned, and a lot of people are relying on this information to get and stay healthy. But what I want to say is you might want to take all this information with a grain of salt. And here's why. First of all, the information on these trackers has been proven, unfortunately, over and over again to be highly inaccurate. So I read a study from the Stanford University School of Medicine where they compared 7 different wrist-worn fitness trackers, and they found that the most accurate estimate of your energy expenditure, aka calories burned, was off by 27%. This was the best one. And the least accurate was 93% off. So none of the devices out of the 7 that they tested were within an acceptable error range. So let's talk about why that is, because we are using our smartwatches to dictate what types and what intensity of exercises that we're doing because of the number of calories burned that it says that we are achieving. And the way that they calculate your calories burned is based on these algorithms that factor in things like heart rate, your age, your weight, and your activity level. But the problem is people have all different body types. And there's a huge difference between muscle versus fat composition. And we also have all different fitness levels. And with different bodies, you're going to respond differently to different exercises and other activities. Also, we all have different resting and maximum heart rates. And the algorithm is based on general population data. So it doesn't account for all these individual differences. So that's one reason why these calories burned can be way off, way inaccurate. And the other thing is that the accuracy varies depending on what activity that you're doing. So let's say, for instance, walking or sitting. So they found that they're way more accurate for these types of lower intensity, exercises. But then when you get to the higher intensity exercises like spinning and running, they're highly overestimating the number of calories burned. So when you're doing a workout and you're seeing that you burn 500, 600, 700 calories by the end, that is probably a very high overestimate of how many calories you actually burned. So sorry, I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's okay. I'm going to get to the good part here in just a minute. The other big problem is that when you're doing a high intensity exercise, it shows that you're burning a lot of calories, right? And when you're doing something lower intensity, like strength training, it shows a much lower calorie burn. And I see so many women thinking, okay, it's calories in, calories out. It's as simple as that. My watch is telling me that the high intensity cardio is burning more calories. Therefore, this is a superior exercise. And it is true that minute by minute, you're going to burn more calories during a cardio workout versus a weightlifting strength training session because your heart rate doesn't get up as high during strength training. So during the exercise, yes, you're burning more calories. However, here's the kicker. When you do strength training, you continue to burn calories for hours and hours afterwards, even up to 2 days after your workout. And that's because strength training actually breaks down the muscle fibers, which sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing. You just get these little micro tears in your muscles. And those have to rebuild themselves. That's why you always take a day off between strength training the same muscle groups, because you need to give it a day to repair itself. And when the muscle sees that it's going to have to endure heavier weights or, a more difficult, strenuous activity, your body's so smart. It says, okay, if this is what's coming, I need to build myself up to be stronger for next time. So that muscle rebuilds itself. And that's why you get muscle growth. And when your muscle is rebuilding itself, guess what? It's burning calories. Okay. That's number one. The other thing is that the more strength training you do, the more muscle mass you'll have on your body. And muscle burns more calories than fat, even when you're at rest. So even when you're watching TV, even when you're sleeping, if you have more muscle mass, you are going to be burning more calories. And that's what the term resting metabolic rate means. It's the rate at which your body uses calories for energy, AKA metabolism. So lifting weights absolutely 100% boosts your metabolism. So that's the awesome thing. And that is why I don't want you to pay so much attention to your fitness tracker smartwatch, because you can get the misconception that cardio is going to help you burn fat more than strength training, which is simply not true. And I want to say one little side note, because when I say muscle mass and building muscle, a lot of women in their heads are thinking, okay, that means I'm going to look bulked up. That means I'm going to, look too muscular or, whatever. No, absolutely not. That is what gives you those lean looking toned arms, legs, midsection. And you are not going to be building big muscles unless you specifically try to do that. And what I mean by that is you would have to spend hours and hours at the gym. Bodybuilders spend 2 hours or more a day building up those muscles and lifting heavy, heavy, heavy weights. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about strength training, resistance training. So that can be lifting lighter weights, that can be using body weight. So there's a lot of ways to go about this that are in no way bodybuilding. This is just to give you that lean toned body that you've always wanted. So let me make it clear. I am not saying not to do cardio. You absolutely do need to have cardiovascular activities built into your schedule, because it's so important for your overall health, for your cardiovascular system, for your heart, for your lungs, your blood circulation. So you do need to be getting those walks in. You do need to be getting some kind of dance or Zumba or walking or swimming or bike riding on a regular basis. But if you are only doing those activities, they are not helping you burn fat or increase your metabolism nearly at the rate that strength training is. So I want to tell you about a new program that I just created. It's called Midlife Muscle and Metabolism. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a 30-day strength training program. It is light. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's very gentle. It is specifically designed for women in midlife, especially if you're busy, because all the workouts are 6 to 12 minutes long. And it's going to help you start toning those muscles, start boosting your metabolism, start releasing fat, but not in an overwhelming way. There's no HIIT workouts. There's no boot camp. There's no hardcore cardio. You don't even need to go to the gym. You can use your body weight for all of the exercises. And then as you build strength and you get more to an intermediate level from beginner, there are things around your house that you can use for equipment. So you never have to buy anything and you never have to go to the gym. You can do it at your home. And also, you don't need a whole lot of time. So I really invite you to check out that program. You can get it on my website, sarahhaaswellness.com. Or I'm going to put a link in the show notes so that you can read all about it. All right. So, in closing, I want to tell you no, you don't need to throw out the fitness tracker because they do have a lot of great benefits. They remind you to stay active, they can help keep you motivated, and they can give you insight into how hard you're working. And I love tracking your progress because that helps you stay motivated because you look back and see how far you've come, and it tells you, how many days out of the week or month you exercised. So it's a great thing. I encourage you to wear them. I just don't want you to take the information about calories burned as your live and die because there's so much more to that. And it's not always giving you that full picture. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you next time.